Hey, people. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. Let's talk about the world. Let's talk about humanity for a second here. You know, my philosophy of life can be summed up in the for the greater good. For the greater good. Just think. Let's make that the global philosophy. That's all you need. That's all you need. For the greater good. That's how you live your life. That's how you run the government. That's even how people should run businesses for the greater good. You can still make a profit and run your business for the greater good of humanity. It's the seven generations thing. The decisions we all make should sustain seven generations out, you know. And the Earth is so small, 8,000 miles in diameter. I mean, just look at it. Look at those pictures, the little blue dot, when they're out in space and they take a picture of the Earth, and it's just this little blue dot. And and all this fussing and fighting's on this little blue dot. It's because human philosophy's not that good. We're a bunch of monkeys with money and guns, you know. And I think we're the what do I call it? We're the most mischievous monkeys. Yeah. And once we accept that, you got to get rid of religion. Throw religion out the window. Let's concentrate on science, but not any science. Science for the greater good. The sun puts so much energy on Earth in 1 hour. It's equal to all the energy that the Earth uses for a whole year. I think maybe even for 2 years. Every hour, the sun gives us that much energy. We have to learn how to harness it. I seen in China, I think they have what is it, over 400 square miles of solar. And then what they found is, the grass is growing because they wash them off to keep them clean, and the grass is growing, and they had to go in there and cut the grass. So what they did was they got sheep, I believe, in there to eat the grass. So now they've turned the desert into pasture land for sheep, at the same time making 400 square miles of solar energy. Why don't we do that? Every parking lot should have roofs over them with solar energy. Global warming's coming on farms for cattle, ranches. You're going to have to build heat shelters. Well, they should all have solar energy on top of these giant heat shelters. Shade shelters is what they are. Shade shelters for the cattle. We're going to need to do that. Put solar on top of everything. Yeah, yeah. And battery technology is coming along. That's very important. All hands on deck for extremely good batteries. Solar works if you have extremely good batteries. It works brilliantly if you have extremely good batteries. So that's the future. For the greater good. Why can't everybody get that? Seems pretty simple. Let's do that. That's my campaign slogan, okay? Now I know there's some Bitcoin bros out there, you guys that bought $1,000 worth when it was a penny. I know you guys are out there, and you know what you could do? You could campaign me for president. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And everybody still gets to make a profit. However, every company has to do good, you know. And yeah, there'll be a lot of product changes. We get the chemicals out of our food, and pharmaceuticals will have to make vaccines that are 100% safe, really close to 100% safe without abstract chemicals and stuff in there. And, and we're going to make peace with the world instead of fighting with it all the time and treat people fairly. And, so it's always for the greater good. We're going to take care of the environment, a lot better than we do. Think about what sonar does to whales and dolphins and everybody. Anybody that uses sonar, just think about that. They are bombarded by that. Maybe we can, if we got rid of battleships, if we got rid of war, that would cut down on a lot of sonar. And then you still have a lot of engine noise in the water and stuff. But, we could work on making ships even quieter going through the water, not to disturb the fish as much. And, there's like a million good ideas, we need to get rid of air pollution and water pollution, of course, as much as possible. We need, biodegradable plastics, like, without harsh chemicals in them. We need. Also, for sure, promote birth control globally, as using sense, common sense, that our planet is in dire shape because of overpopulation and pollution and all that stuff. So we want to manage our population in a nice way, not in a bad way, just like we got to cut down on childbirth for actually like 30 years, and reduce population, so that the environment can recover, stuff like that. So, yeah, Bitcoin Bros, for the greater good, probably elect me president, because I'm all about the greater good. Okay, thanks a lot.